Welcome back, everybody, to the Multi-Gen Collectibles YouTube channel. Thank you so much for being with us today on this very cold January morning in San Jose, California. And we're almost halfway through the month of January. And this morning is cold, man. So for those of you that are surviving the cold weather anywhere in the world, shout out to you. Don't forget to please like, comment, and even subscribe to the channel. And please follow us on Instagram. Again, that's Multi-Gen Collectibles on Instagram. Now, we are down to our final 2 episodes of the Blue Container series. Yes, this ended up going to all the way to 10 episodes. Didn't know it was going to go that far. However, looking at what was in here, it makes sense, all right? So today, we're going to jump back in and take a look at another 100 card series, or I should say a 100 card subset from 1994, all right? Let's take a look at what we have here. Looking inside, I'm going to pull this case, very similar to the last one, and this one's rather full. So this is also another sliding case that you see here. And this right here is full, as you can see, way full. In fact, I think it's actually more than 100 cards. Yeah, this is way more than 100 cards. Let's see, compare that to the other one. Same size, same height, but this set was 100 cards. So I know for a fact we're talking about way more than 100 cards. What are we looking at? Well, this is 1994 score Gold Rush. So for those of you who might be familiar with the Gold Rush inserts, this is the complete set, I believe. So if you know anything about 1994 score Gold Rush inserts, if you know how many cards come in this set, please let me know. It's kind of interesting. Being out of the sports card collecting for many years and jumping back in this year, well 2025, this kind of reminds me of Topps Chrome. I know that might sound a little far-fetched, but this actually reminds me of the way that the card looks, the way that the player is projected onto the background, right? The focus is purely on the player, or in this case, the stadium, right? Los Angeles. But look at the way the card looks and the way that the player is the only thing that's really in focus and highlighted with the color. Everything else is blurred or faded or in a different tone, right? So this is the Gold Rush series. And if you look at the borders around and even the image behind the focal point, which is the player, it has a gold undertone to it. Look at that. That looks kind of clean in that angle. The way that the light, the way that the light is hitting it, right? So what is this? Well, looks like the Gold Rush score Gold Rush series of 1994. And again, I don't think this is the complete set because you have numbers 616, 630, looks like 653, 603, 597. I'm going to guess there's about 150 cards, maybe 200 cards in this case. So, as I've said before, I don't know who actually bought this. Whether this was my mom who purchased it for me as a gift, whether it was my grandmother who purchased this because she wanted to collect the set, because remember I've said many times, she was a big set builder. Big set builder. Look at this. For those of you who know anything about Los Angeles Angels, or California Angels, I should say, Anaheim Angels, California/Anaheim Angels, this is Tim Salmon's rookie card in the Gold Rush parallel in this subset. So whether you want to call them parallels, I guess you could call them parallels as you would today, in today's terms. But before Mike Trout, it's easy to say the biggest Angels rookie was Tim Salmon. Chad Curtis was another player that had a lot of expectation and hype around him. But this guy right here, Tim Salmon, this was the guy. This was the dude that easily, hands down, you could say was the biggest rookie before Mike Trout. Here's the Greg Maddux parallel. Chris Turner. Randy Miller. I was hoping that was Kenny Lofton. So let's go through a few of these just to get them on camera and see what they look like. Okay. And we'll see what we come across, because I don't know. This is literally the first time I'm going through these cards. As you can see, they're bricked. Look at this. Look how they're stuck, right? They're kind of bricked together, as they say. The gloss keeps that, right? So this is the very first time I'm going through these cards with you on camera in over 30 years. I haven't looked at these in probably ever. This is new to me. So I'm guessing I didn't buy these, and I'm pretty sure I didn't rip these from packs of 94 score. I'm gonna guess I didn't. I don't think I hit these. This is a heck of a lot of hits from packs that I know I didn't buy. So shout out to grandma. And if my grandmother or my mom bought these for me as a gift, shout out to whoever did. All right. So far, we got a couple notable players, but nothing that is screaming out that we need to send this to grading, right? You got a Marquise Grissom, you got Ron Gant. That actually looks really clean, especially in that horizontal image. Look at that. So we're gonna have to find somebody or something that catches our eye. The one thing I can say I really liked about the Score brand was that they also included the baseball stadiums. I don't know what it was about Score that said, hey, let's highlight the baseball stadium itself. But I actually appreciated that. I thought it was really cool that as a sports fan and as a baseball fan, you also learned what each stadium looked like. And you knew exactly which stadium a game was being held in just by the way it looked, because that's what you did, right? You learned. You studied the sport. You became a student of the sport, and that even meant learning what the stadiums looked like. And then when they put them on the cards, that was just an extra bonus. Like that's kind of cool for those of us who are interested in that type of stuff. Some people would say nerding out. Other people would say being students of the sport. However you want to look at it. All right, let's see. Who are we looking for? You tell me. Which players are we looking for? Well, we know we're looking for some Griffeys, Nolan Ryan, maybe a Frank Thomas, a Sammy Sosa, maybe even Kenny Lofton, a Tony Gwynn, Cal Ripken Jr., right? Something that is going to really catch our attention with some notable and GOAT players of this era. So I think it's interesting that you have the stadiums. You also have the rookie cards, right? For example, this one right here, as you see down in the corner right there, it says 1993 rookie. You even had the draft pick cards as well. For example, this one also is a rookie. Let's see if we can find a draft pick, maybe. I don't know, man. These are really dope cards. I kind of feel like these paved the way, though, for, again, I think Topps Chrome. I think Topps Chrome had this inspiration. I could be wrong. But just the way that the gold and the way that the image looks, how the player is the pronounced focus. If you look at Topps Chrome, kind of looks like that. And maybe even a lot of cards that are being produced today. Here's another different parallel, right? You have the draft pick. So this is the draft pick Gold Rush parallel. So it's safe to say, I think, and this is just my opinion, somebody that's been out of this hobby for 30 years plus, it's safe to say that mid-90s baseball cards, mid-90s cards, sports cards in general, you started to see the evolution of base card production starting to go into inserts and parallels, into which these parallels were complete subsets. I love the gold. I do. I love the gold, and I like the way that the focus of the player is on them. So I think this is going to be a short video. Oh, look at that. That's a young Jim Thome right there. This is like the only card that really catches my attention so far is Jim Thome. Is this a rookie? I don't think it's a rookie card. Let's see. What year is this? What year would this be? Is this his second year? Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe this is his rookie card because the prior year he only had 47 games. So let me know, please. Does this make the 94 score his rookie card? Look at that gold. That's clean. So we got a Jim Thome, second year or rookie card year. You also got a Steve Avery, Milt Thompson, Ron Darling, Candy Maldonado, Fernandez. So yeah, we're gonna continue to look through these, try to find that Griffey Jr., that Sheffield, that Dave Stewart. That's a really dope card too. I like that. Look at that shine, that gloss. Dave Stewart will always be an Oakland A's legend to me, even though he did spend time with Toronto. I will always remember him as an Oakland A's pitcher. Whether that's fair or not. There's Eckersley. Look at that. What a roster. You go from Dave Stewart to Dennis Eckersley and close out the game. That's legendary right there, man. Oral Hershiser. I think he was a pretty good hitter too as a pitcher. One of the better ones. What is this? How hilarious is this card? Look at that beard. I think that was trying to be a little throwback to the 1920s or 30s. Matt Williams. If you hear the dogs barking in the background, as usual, I apologize. Oh, looks like we got one here, but we're gonna have to wait to get all the way to the bottom of the stack because that's card number 1. So it looks like this is going in some sort of descending order, as we've seen in the past. Let's take a look. Chuck Knobloch. Crime Dog. There he is, Crime Dog. Fred McGriff. That's just a nice looking card, man. Ah, there's Kenny Lofton. I was waiting for a Kenny Lofton sighting. Lou Whitaker. Some say he should be a Hall of Famer. Maybe he should. I don't know. What do y'all think? Lance Johnson. As we get closer and closer, I'm hoping we get to some of those other names that we were mentioning earlier. Jose Canseco as a Texas Ranger. Probably around the same time that home run bonked off his head. Went over the fence. Mo Vaughn. Big Mo. Who else we got? Looks Looks like Terry Steinbach, legendary Oakland A's catcher. Darren Daulton, another notable catcher from the 90s. The big unit. Randy Johnson in the Gold Rush. I want to say we've seen this before in a single. Juan Gonzalez. Clean card. Eric Karros. Donnie Baseball. About to receive the ball, catch the ball. Kirby Puckett. There's Kirby. That looks nice in the gold. Brian McRae. We'll set these down. We're down to the last few. Let's see. Who else are we going to find besides card number 1? Ray Langford. Dave Magadan. Hall of Famer Robin Yount. Let's separate these. All right, we're down to the last few. Mike Mussina, who apparently is in the Hall of Fame. I had no idea up until recently. Hall of Fame pitcher. I didn't even know that. Albert Bell, also known as Joey Bell. Jack McDowell with the goatee. Burkett. And last but not least, card number 1, you have Barry Bonds. Is he the greatest hitter of all time? Some people say he is. Some people say he's the greatest hitter of all time, even better than Tony Gwynn. Greatest pure hitter of all time. What are your thoughts? So everybody, this is the Gold Rush parallel subset. We have over 600 numbered cards, but in this case, we've got about, I'd say 150. So we know we don't have a complete set. So what we're gonna do is put these in sleeves and see what we can get for them. If you're interested, again, as I've said in other videos, if you're interested in any of these cards or all of them, please let me know. Please let me know if you are interested and you would like to purchase any or all of these cards. All right. And that way we could possibly make some sort of a deal. And maybe these can be yours. Okay. So I appreciate you all watching. Thank you for tuning in once again. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. And we will see you in the next one. This was part 10. We have one more part. And I think that next part might really be of interest to some people. We'll see you next time.